Cool. Welcome, everybody. Great to see a full room here. Super excited to have everyone and to be joined by Jill from Kind Snacks. Thank you for being here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Woo! I have been a big fan of Kind for a long time, for those of you who don't know me. I was telling Jill earlier, actually, Kind made me like coconut. I used to despise coconut, but the coconut almond is wonderful. But not just the product, but the brand, the company, the people, and the way you guys really approach your digital marketing as well, which is what we're here to talk about today. And I want to start off by talking a little bit about the brand ethos that Kind exudes out there, because it's a big foundation to everything you do. So maybe you can tell us a little bit just about Kind and what you guys do.
Yeah, I mean, you can't find a brand today doesn't have a mission or like trying to back into sustainability or a purpose or a mission. We're really lucky at Kind because our founder, Daniel Lubetzky, started out trying to make the world a kinder, better world. So our foundation is based on that. I know the brand's called Kind, which helps as well, but
it's
really,
on the nose, but it's good.
I know. It started off as that kind of company. So he was very into sustainability and helping businesses and people who didn't get whole nutrition or weren't able to get whole foods. So we really have that basis, that foundation. So everything we do on top of that is just really sharing out to the world what we're doing and how we're helping communities.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's certainly become apparent in everything you guys do, certainly from your marketing as well. And I think that pivots perfectly into the way you've been able to proliferate that brand ethos on social and some of the major social channels. And you've been able to talk to younger consumers, get a brand connection with them at this level with your messaging and your POV. One great example of this is this video we're about to show on TikTok, where you actually had this poet or artist in residence, as I'm told, right? Artist in residence, Morgan Harper Nichols, espouse some of these brand philosophies. So let's take a look at this.
Here's to living life as listeners and givers, sowers of good seeds, neighbors and friends, the kind of people who dare to believe kindness knows no end. One day at a time, may we choose to live kind.
A hardening message in terms of the brand ethos and the way that Morgan was talking about it there. So if you want to expand on it a little bit.
Yeah, so our approach to social media is really making sure we get our core audience and have them understand what we're about, but also reach the Gen Z audience and build that long-term relationship. A lot of ways we do that too is through our own work, internally, our own teams go out to the communities and do a lot of activities that we put on TikTok. If you guys are engaged with TikTok at all with Kind, you'll see that it's through and through. So it's really, again, social is really there to help make us reach our audience, obviously share what we're about and our products, but also reach that Gen Z audience.
Yeah, I think this was just the beginning, really, for you guys. It was a little bit of a pivot in direction from where you were a few years ago in terms of focusing on really the product only. Mm-hmm. You were bringing to life what Kind was really about to users, and like you said, connect with Gen Z, knowing that they want brands that share similar values and things of that nature. And one of the amazing ways in which you've really taken this to the next step has been on Snapchat, in relation to some of the main ingredient in your bar's almonds.
Right. So we have a huge sustainability initiative called Almond Acres Initiative, which is a mouthful, but really what we're trying to do is find a way to source our number one ingredient, almonds, in a really in the right way. So it takes up a lot of water. There's some challenges there. So to get that message across, we decided to kind of go where the consumers are. So it's such dense content. So we partnered with Snapchat and we became the exclusive regenerative agriculture partner for them. Sorry, another mouthful. And we've really worked across the platform. So we not only built a lens to try to make that content much more digestible and fun, as well as commercial ads. And we also brought Snapchat codes in retail. So we had a full 360 campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw the example here with the lens. Yep. It's kind of that fun, engaging element. Obviously making almonds a little bit more sexy, I suppose, through a Snapchat lens, but you also took it to the educational level utilizing what I think is pretty underutilized product on Snapchat and commercials to speak to what you guys are really trying to do with this regenerative almond. So let's take a look at this.
Whole orchard recycling, or WOR.
When we pluck the trees at the end of their life cycle, we reincorporate them into the soil.
And they'll be there to see the next generations grow and share their stories of what life was like before the war.
Don't do that.
I hear ya.
We were lucky enough to find a guy that worked there that was actually funny, so he's in a lot of our ads, which is great.
You're saying almond harvesters aren't funny
Well,
by
it's
nature?
50-50. And then we also were able to use these lines with influencers, and we posted those on like TikTok, and so we had like a paid campaign running there, so we were able to use that content elsewhere, which is great.
Yeah, it's just a great synergy between all of them, and also picking out these different products and ways to talk to consumers. That's a little bit different than how you were doing, and certainly very robust and different than how a lot of other brands are leveraging them as well. And I think what's interesting here is we're talking about this fun, engaging elements, bringing the brand to the forefront and what you guys stand for. At the same time, you have this other mission, which is pretty difficult. It's, hey, snack bars are actually a healthy choice as well, and making consumers aligned with that. And a great example of this is the sort of like man on the street interviews you guys were doing with TikTok, again with someone from your team. So we'll watch this example and you can tell us a little bit more about it.
When I hand you this bar, take a look at it and tell me, what do you think the first ingredient is?
Nuts.
What kind of nut?
I don't know my nuts very well. Probably just peanuts.
It's almonds.
Almonds, okay.
Open it up. Open it up.
Open
Let's
it up?
explore it. Let's
Right
investigate.
here, right now?
Just unleash it.
Oh my god. Oh, I do see almonds.
So zoom in. Should we zoom in on the almond right there? He sees almonds.
See, I don't know my nuts very well.
He doesn't know his nuts.
Oh, I like almond though.
A few
Describe
moments
it.
later.
Better than I thought it would be.
Ooh, why? Oh, chew. Chew first.
I'm the biggest fan of nuts in general, but this is quite good. Like I'll probably eat the rest of this.
Oh, that's good.
It's funny, though.
We'll even give you another one.
I love that he says, I'll probably eat the rest of this after that.
Yeah, so part of this campaign was really like explaining to people again about like our whole nutrition and the whole ingredients that are in our products. We did like a pop-up market in New York and in Houston where we were able, like we actually advertised it through TikTok, geo-targeted, and we had tons and tons of people come. It was more, you could come and get like fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, fresh nuts, and then we also had places where you could do like give to charity. So there was a place where you could give to City Harvest and a few of the other like charities that we definitely partner with. We also had Padma Lasky put together a recipe. I probably butchered her name. Sorry. Put together a recipe like that was inspired by kind ingredients that everyone could taste while they were at the event. Which was great. It was very successful for us, really getting out that message. And then we took all of that content and we created a paid media campaign that ran across like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. That's out there right now in the marketplace. So not only were we able to get people in to actually try the product and give to charity, we were also able to like amplify that content to help sell products too, get the message out.
Yeah. It killed me not to be part of that Padma event as well.
I know,
I was a
it
huge
was-
Top
it
Chef
was
fan.
fantastic,
It was very
yeah.
exciting for me. But it's really great to see what you guys have done. I mean, you talked about the pop-up, leveraging online to bring people together offline, I think is super unique. But also leaning into the trends online here, like this sort of man or woman on the street is something that's gotten really popular on TikTok and other channels as well, and just feels really authentic to get that messaging across as well. I just think it's incredibly done. With that being said, this is all fun and well. It's moving people. You're seeing lift in terms of brand metrics and all those things. At the end of the day, there's still sales, right? Actually moving product, actually generating revenue, something you guys are also doing alongside these various different efforts. The one that really stands out to me is some of the work that Kind had done with Meta and Nielsen. In particular, this is where we get a little bit technical here, so stay with me, buyer-driven bidding. This model, which is typically reserved from what we've seen for DSPs, right? But you worked with our team to actually go and apply this to Meta in the social sphere, and what this really did was marrying this sort of offline data sets to real-time optimizations at a really granular level with our meta media activations as well. So you can really understand what are the creatives, what are the audiences, and make optimizations towards those that are actually moving revenue. And with that, I think you've really you've created an unlock for achieving better revenue and shifted a paradigm within CPG advertising on social.
Yeah, it's huge for us because it's hard to see. We're looking at online sales only, which we're getting like lower ROAS, but we know that our media, we're not getting the full attribution for our media. So we know we're selling products, but we're not able to tie that to what's happening in store. Our consumers, a high majority of them are buying in store, and we know that. So there was something we weren't able to like show holistically how we were performing. So this allowed us to do that. So some of the results we got there, I think, the results we had, to do that early. But the results we had were so high, and so it just goes to show how many of the consumers and the sales that we weren't getting. So this is a huge part of our plans moving forward, and how we can now like identify exactly like how well our media is doing.
Yeah,
in terms of sales.
Absolutely, and I think what you've proven is right. You can work at that mid and upper funnel portion, really move people, and you can continue to work on that lower funnel portion as well. These two working in tandem to create this holistic story that's underlined with sales and revenue as well. So the results certainly speak for themselves. It's really about 10x to the CPG norm according to Nielsen. So really fantastic, and with that, I'd be remiss not to mention this award that we're up for, the Shorty Award, which is absolutely amazing. It's a shameless plug. I wish you could still vote for it. Voting is closed, so don't worry, you don't have to vote. But we're hoping for a win here for Kind. It's a really great campaign. Cool, and I think what I'd really like to know, sort of pivoting a little bit here, is what do you say to brands who are trying to achieve these sort of dual goals of awareness and conversion in terms of sales? What is your recommendation based on some of these experiences that you guys have gone through at Kind?
I think the first thing people are typically want to just do lower and conversion focused media, like to get that ROAS and to come back and see the sales. But it's really understanding that awareness drives so much of that in consideration into conversion. So making sure that you have the right percentages and the right partners, like throughout the funnel, if you will, to make sure that you're feeding it down to make sure you get those conversions.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Definitely aligned with that. And what's next for Kind? I want to hear, you guys have done a lot of great work the last few years. I feel lucky to have been a part of it, witness it, get a Shorty Award in there, all that stuff. But what's coming down? What are you guys looking towards in the future?
Continuing our mission. We're going to be, I think we'll be in business 20 years next year. So it's been a while, like reminding consumers what a great product we are, what a great brand, what we stand for. And then continue testing in like the space. Like, there's so much new technology out there, making sure we're evolving our business as like the landscape and everything evolves too.
Awesome. Yeah, well, we're super looking forward to that. And we will be outside. There's a picture of a tiger. So if you need to find us, it's pretty apparent, pretty obvious. For any questions, we'd love to keep chatting. Jill can tell you a little bit more about their most popular bars and their least popular bars, which she was telling me about. So anything that you want to talk about, we're happy to do so. And thank you for being here, Jill. This was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.